Hi, I have decided to make a little swatch panel that goes with my new box here for my watercolors, which I did as well. So I'm quite happy with this. So I'm going to make a little, as I was saying, a little swatch panel, which is going to contain these, which are the all the colors in here, basically. So make a new one, but this here should be this cardboard should be big enough for this. But I'm going to cut a new piece of paper, and so I won't give you. Well, this measurement is 22 and a half centimeters by 19 centimeters, but you will have to use your own measurements according to how many colors you have. And what I do is I put this aside, and I want to cut this so that it will be the stand for this one, so it can stand up. It will all be clear, I hope, soon. I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to put it this way. So as usual, I'm going to cut it a few times instead of trying to cut it just in one go without applying too much pressure. So apply some pressure, but not too much, because otherwise you might slip and cut your finger. And if you watched my classes on bookbinding, I'm doing the same thing when I cut the grey board for bookbinding. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to make this part here a bit smaller, and it's going to look like a photo stand. So I'm just going to do it this way. So this is going to go there, and it's going to be like a photo stand. So the next step is to get the paper to make it nice. I have here some paper, decorative paper, which I used for my box of paints here. So it's not a lot. Normally I would like to have a larger margin, but I'm going to try and work with this paper because I would like it to have the two matching. So we'll see what happens when I cut it. And also I'm going to need a little bit of this book cloth. I've chosen this because it's a neutral color, and I'm just going to need a little rectangle to stick to glue here so it can hinge. Hopefully everything will be clear as I'm doing it. So let's cut this first, and let's see what I do is maybe I needed a bigger cutting board, but anyway. So I'm going to leave a little bit more this side. Okay. And then I cut sort of round here, and we'll see. Here it's a bit short, but we'll see what we can do. So this was around here. I'm going to use this board for this one. Try to be a little bit more precise. Okay, just gonna make this corner a bit straighter. All right. And then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to the cardboard. I got here some scrap paper, which I'm going to put underneath, and my little dish here for the glue. And I'm going to just pour some glue here. And use it with this. This is just a brush from B&Q or Home Base. So it's a cheap brush, but it's very good for this type of work. So you want to cover the surface quite quickly, because otherwise this area will dry before I finish applying the glue everywhere. So that wasn't enough. And it's like a stippling action when I apply the glue. And you go towards the outside, from the inside towards the outside. Of course. And then just quickly I will apply my cardboard. Try to get it centered. And I'm just going to turn it and just smooth it down with my hands. If it's a very big surface, you might want to use a soft cloth or something, but this is quite small, so I'm just going to do it like this. And then what you want to do is cut the corners and leave about 3 millimeters. So from here to here is about 3 millimeters. This is a bit more, but you don't want to cut it too close, but you don't want to leave too much paper either. Okay. I'm gonna put it this way. And now I'm going to use a bond folder, but first I'm going to apply a little bit more glue. Let's put it this way. Just all around. To make sure that it will stick properly. Trying to get glue on the front of the paper. Okay, and what I do is I fold one side first. So in this case, the long side. It doesn't really matter, really. But I'm going to do it this way. And then with the bond folder, I'm just going to push the paper from this side, and from it's easier with the right hand, and from this side, and then just fold it over. And then the same here. So push it and push it on this side and then fold it. So it's quite close to the edge. Normally I would leave a bit more, but as I was saying, I liked this paper and I didn't have any more left. So there we go, that's one part finished. What I'll do is I'll cover this with the paper. So what I'll do is I'm going to trace this shape here, leaving a bit all around. So this is kind of an odd shape. So I need to cut, leaving something like a 1.5 centimeters, something like that. So cut, I'm gonna leave that for the moment. And I cut it from this side so I can see where the shape ends. I'm going to eyeball it. All right. And this I'm going to do it more or less like that. Okay. And here is probably too much, so I'm going to cut a little bit off. I have never actually done this type of shape, so I'm doing it with you first time. We'll see how it goes. I will use the same principle I used for the board, and we'll see if it works. That's exciting, isn't it? I'm going to get my scrap paper and a little bit more glue. Okay. Same principle from the inside towards the outside. Okay, and I just put this using the template I drew around it. And now let's cut the corners like we did before. And let's see if this is working. So just push this in, and this side, maybe I left a bit too much here, but that's okay. And then okay, needs to be closer. All right, look at that. I have cut a little rectangle of book cloth, so this one can go away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it in here. So it should be like this. And then it's going to go in here. So it will sort of hinge. So scrap paper and folding it half. And just add some glue. Okay, then this part will be attached here, and you can see the nice side. All right, and what we need to do is to cover this part. And it should be smaller, so I'm going to draw here. Okay, so that's gonna go there. And I will cut it just slightly inside the line, so it will sit sort of a little bit inside. All right, so that goes in here like this. Okay, more glue. I need to get more of this. And let's make sure it's centered. Okay, lovely. So I can now, I'm going to see the center of this, which one it is. So it's 22.5. So that's 11.25. So 11 points around here. And this we need to go, and the center of this, 5.5. I could have done even numbers, couldn't I? So that's 2.75, around there. So that goes like this. Okay. And then we can stick it down around here. It's a bit Okay. All right. And now we need the ribbon so that it doesn't open completely. So there's something that keeps it, like holds it. And let's get the ribbon. So I'm going to need a bit here and a bit here. So I'm going to cut around this much. Okay, so to attach this, I'm going to use the hot glue because you could cut the cardboard and insert it, but then you will have always that little thing sort of sticking out. So I'm going to do it with the hot glue. I'm going to put some glue here. And attach it. So just to show you, I'm going to attach it like this. And then the next one I'm going to touch it sort of around there. And it's a bit too much, so I'm going to cut a little bit. So yeah, that should be enough. So just make sure you get a good amount. And then just press it. Okay, so I'll leave that for a moment to dry completely, and I'll cut the watercolor paper to go on top on this side. So I normally work with arches paper. Because I do botanical painting, I use the hot pressed smooth paper. So I'm going to use this paper. I'm going to get one of the pages here. All right, and what I do is I just measure this again. So I'm gonna leave just a few millimeters from top and bottom. So let's say 18.5. So 18.5 by 21.5. All right, so this is going to go here. So I can still see a little bit of the decorative paper, and I have my watercolors there. So the next thing I need to do is I need to do a sort of table to add the watercolor something like I did here, so with the numbers and the lines. And I'm going to do that next before I actually stick it there. So if I make a mistake, I can just make another one. And this is dried. So as you can see, now it will stand up and it won't open all the way. So it stands up like a picture frame. All right, so I have divided the space into 12 because I got 12 colors. So it's I'm going to do it the same way as these are laid out. So it's 12 colors this way, and it's 6 this way. So I'm just going to do the lines. I'm going to try and keep them light. I'm not sure if you can see them on screen, but I'm just going to leave it light. All right, so and I leave half a centimeter from the top to write the numbers. So write from 1 to 12. In here, and then this I'm going to divide it, so it's 18 centimeters if I leave another half a centimeter at the bottom. So I'm going to divide it into 3. So let's see. So the last one is a little bit shorter because I want to leave another half a centimeter here to write the numbers again. But that's it's not going to be a huge problem. All right, and now all there's left to do is to attach this here. Okay, so I've put this on some scrap paper again. To touch it with my hand, which is a little bit dirty. Okay, so as you can see, now we can add the watercolor here, and this is going to stand up. There you go. That's the finished watercolor swatch stand. I don't know. I need to find a nice name for it. I hope you have enjoyed making this with me, and let me know if you have any questions. And if you liked the video, don't forget to like it and share it. And we'll see you soon.